Success doesn't always come from holding tighter, but it often comes from letting go and leaning into something new.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
Greetings, everyone. So, as you heard in the intro, success doesn't always come from holding tighter. It comes from letting go and leaning into something new. So, let's explore that for a moment. Maurice, what are you talking about? A lot of times when we have something, we hold it near and dear to ourselves. And that's because, as I had learned in one of my classes, some of you know who knows that I'm still in school. And I had a law class. It was my business ethics class, right? And so we were talking about contracts and compete disclosures and things like that. Because people are really, they come up with an idea and they think they have to hold on to it so tightly because they're too nervous that someone is going to take their idea and do this, that, and the other and all that type of stuff, right? And to some degree, I understand. I get the idea. I get the gist. And so we hold on to it, and because we're holding on to it so tightly that we don't allow it to grow or bloom. And in that, I'll use an analogy. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about this. I look at a lot of, on YouTube, I look at a lot of animal videos. And some that really fascinate me are people who take dogs and raise dogs, right? And grow them and show you how to love on your dog and groom your dog and train your dog and so in that they understand lineage as well. But there's a few things that I have learned in that is that sometimes you could hold on to a puppy for so long that they can no longer grow in that situation. And because you have a passion for taking care of animals, sometimes we hold them and hug them and try to nurture them so much that they don't know how to maneuver in life. And sometimes we look at our passion or our idea, our business, our job. We look at it and we hold on to it so tightly that we don't allow for new opportunities to just seep in. Like, it doesn't even have to bust in the door. Just allow it to just seep in, to drip in, if you will. So one of the things that I've learned in interviewing all these fabulous individuals over the last couple years, that we have to be able to understand that how important pivoting can be and hearing from others that are around you, because even though y'all are both in the same space, that you are both have the same idea, everyone wants to help someone, y'all want to answer the question that's on the market, whatever it is, but everyone can learn from each other, because keeping in mind that in all reality, no one can do you but you. No one could be you but you, right? So sometimes we can take our passion and we can lock it into a one way of thinking. But do we also understand that there is one more than one way to skin a cat, as the phrase says. Sometimes we could take that passion and hold on to it so tight, and we can almost squeeze the life out of it. How many of you have done it? You've taken a sponge and you squeeze it so tight, and you see the water dripping out of it. Sometimes we could do that to our passion and or our dreams. We hold on to it so tightly because we've been told, i.e. the name of this podcast, that will never work. So there are moments where we're going to have to understand that pivoting, yes, it's your idea. Yes, you have one way of thinking, but sometimes you need to pivot, which allows you to take a look at new strategies. Again, it's more than one way to skin a cat. Partnerships, right? Allow you to explore new partnerships. And partnerships can be, again, just on this podcast, where I've interviewed all these individuals and we are in a partnership of giving you great content for each and every one of you to grow and to blossom into who you really are meant to be. Ultimately, you've been able to ride this journey with me and see me grow in this space, right? And so that's something that I would like for you to understand, that pivoting allows new strategies, it allows new partnerships, and also, because I'm going to give you a third idea, it can allow new platforms that can align better with your long-term vision. Because there's always some new platform out there that might be more cost-effective, more efficient, more effective. Distribution could be a little bit better. Visuals can be a little bit better and more attractive. There's other things that you can get things done, especially if you are in a solopreneur perspective. Sometimes the way you've been doing things for the last couple of years may not be the way to continue to go. So when you understand that sometimes growth requires a new perspective, you might need to share just a tidbit of what your vision is. That you may need to understand that understanding individuals can provide you great information that can help you grow into something that otherwise you may have never even considered. So give yourself some grace, give yourself some breathing room, give yourself some opportunities. And so in the situation of some of the nonprofits that I have dealt with, or even some of the churches that I have dealt with, sometimes they're like, hey, you get caught up in, well, we've been doing this for the last 50 years. Well, guess what? The neighborhood that you've been serving for the last 50 years has changed. The people that attend your church has changed. Well, it's only just me and my family here. Yes, but has your family not changed? Because now those same young people that you had then, did they go and attend college? And what is college? A form of education that will stretch you a little further than you might have imagined for most, right? So now your perspective on life is different. The way you move about career and education or whatever it is. So college alone takes you to another place and it stretches you. Did any of your family members get married? So now all of a sudden they have another voice that's around them that has now changed the way they think, feel, and maneuver. Oh, now they're grown and they have bills, right? So now they understand that I need to worry about having a job and or career that's going to help put food on my table, keep the lights on, right? Keep. keep my car outside. So sometimes we need to understand that what really matters is that real success requires evolving beyond your original idea to reach your fullest potential. Real success often requires evolving beyond your original idea to reach your fullest potential. Talk to you later.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chisholm on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?